Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a great day. So there's a lot to unpack today, just like every day. Every day is full of news, and this is why you need to get up every day, do your own research, whether you're interested in crypto, investing in real estate, doing stocks, options, bonds, whatever it is, becoming an entrepreneur and wanting to open up your own store, you must do your own research. So I'm going to share some with you. Coinbase and Gemini are both going to start bidding today on the assets of Celsius Network. The reason why this is important is not because of what those two companies, or at least in my opinion, not what those two companies can do with those assets. It's really whether or not the SEC and Gary Gensler are going to try to step in. They tried to step in and are still trying to step in on the BinanceUS purchase of Voyager's assets. So pay attention. I think there's going to be more to come in that space. Coinbase is also taking the SEC to task over a question that they asked in 2022, a year ago, literally almost to the day. Now, I want you to take a step back, right? Take a step back and let's try to understand, what the SEC and Gary Gensler is all about. Not necessarily what they're all about, but what they're telling you they're all about with the actions that they take. It was just, a week or two ago, that Gary Gensler sat in front of Congress and was asked a direct question. Is Ethereum a security? He failed to answer that question. Or let me change that a little bit. He was successful in dodging the question again. Okay. Now I want you to really pay attention to that, because remember a few months ago I told you that he took Library to court saying that they're a security. Well, Library is a replica of Ethereum. They're just doing something, different with their project. So why are you taking them to court, but you're not taking Ethereum to court? Right? All of this uncertainty, all of this swirl is meant to make it difficult for crypto business to happen in the United States. But to what end? And Coinbase just jumped up and said, we're tired of the threats. We're tired of uncertainty. And said, you know what? It's time that we take you to task. You're going to be brought to court. You're going to be asked, why is it taking you so long to answer a question that should have been answered over a year ago? If we filed today, within a month, we should have had an answer. I mean, us, the public, should have had an answer. So what have you been doing other than your job? Because that's your job. A company asks you, hey, what are the guidelines on X? You're supposed to answer. Hey, what do we have to do for X? You point to a rule from 1932 or something like that. Everything's there for them to register and blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. Crypto companies don't have a clear way of registering. They don't have clear answers. What is a security? What is not? And I want you to think about this. There are tons of companies out there that operate with securities legally. So it's not to say that crypto companies wouldn't do the same, or some crypto companies wouldn't do the same. It's just a matter of, what is a security? Just what is it in our case? That's all they're asking. Well, Gary Gensler is going to have to answer that question now. He's going to have to answer that question, or at least his agency is going to have to answer that question. Unless the bill that's being put in Congress there first, because they're tired of his actions already, and they want to turn it into a board and not a single man rule. That'd be pretty cool. I have to say, that would be pretty cool. Now, the House they're doing is they're saying, listen, stablecoins are not securities, and we're going to, introduce a bill that will state that officially. While Democrats either sleep on it or fight it, Republicans are actually stepping up and trying to create cryptocurrency legislation. There's something wrong with both parties, right? No party, neither one of the parties is perfect. And this happens to be something that I like about the Republicans. They're stepping up for whatever reason they have, and they're saying, hey, look, listen, there's got to be something there. But moving beyond party politics, it's nice to see the government actually step up and do something, actually attempt to get some work done. How far will it go? Have no idea. But it's nice. It's nice. Something that I'm paying attention to. If it does go through, how would that affect a United States issued CBDC? Yeah, that would be interesting. Because the whole point of CBDC would be what? To be mindful of what your people are doing. FedNow is coming, and that's also going to help the government figure out what you are doing with your money, and even have the ability to step in and mess with that. So it really makes you stop and scratch your head. Now, a lot of companies are expecting Bitcoin to go high. And a lot of companies are on the record, a lot of financial institutions are on the record saying, hey, Bitcoin is going to hit 100,000. It's been happening for a couple of years, especially when it hit as high as 69,000, almost 70. Standard Chartered Bank's Jeff Kendrick says by the end of 2024, Bitcoin will get there. I already think that. I don't have to be sold on it. I thought it would hit, last year, but it didn't. This year, I think it'll wind up going a little bit higher, but not achieving that goal, right? But next year comes a halving event in April or May. It's expected to hit in about April or May. And usually around that time, you start to see things rise. So yeah, by the end of next year, can we see over 100? I absolutely believe by the end of next year, you'll see over 100 for Bitcoin. Absolutely. The question is, what will you see on other projects? And that's what I find to be interesting. What else? Something that has got me just almost enthusiastic, like boyhood giddiness, is Visa is looking to hire a Web3 engineer to help them build an AI-driven smart contract tool. As soon as I read that, I took a step back, and because my company is doing AI, we're doing Web3, and I sat there and I was like, Visa has an advantage over a lot of different companies. Okay. Visa has access to the purchasing power, the purchasing information, and I mean real deal information on what was purchased, when, by who, how much it costs, all of that. So looking at trends is easy for them. Imagine them teaching AI using all of that data. It's big business for them. That data is gold for them. It's the golden goose, actually. Now, imagine letting AI loose against all of that data and what it could do with AI-driven smart contracts. That's not all. What I'm looking at is, what if all the other companies started doing that? Here's a case in point. Bloomberg, using AI, with all of the financial information that they have to create that engine. You already have to spend $30,000, what is it, a month for a Bloomberg terminal. Imagine having that layer on top of it to help you with that. Insane. So Bloomberg, Visa making big moves like this. But Visa building a tool that's using AI for smart contracts, that tells me that no matter where Bitcoin is, no matter where crypto is in terms of price, there is a huge future. Huge. So when I look at the prices now, and we will get into the numbers later, when I get into look at the prices now, I just think it's a big deal. A big deal. And nothing but positive upward momentum. Here's what we should do. We should get into the numbers. We really should. Let me switch over. Alrighty. So what do we have coming up this week that's major economic news? We still have all of the stocks reporting. That's going to be a big deal. You should pay attention to that. What you also have is durable goods orders coming out on tomorrow. New home sales coming out today about 10 o'clock. Um, Employment cost index, personal income, all this stuff, PCE index. These are all big deals for this week, and we should be paying attention. All right. Next Tuesday, you have US job openings coming out. So you just want to look forward to what's going on and keeping your finger on the pulse of everything that's going on. Right now, you have the fear and greed index. Yesterday, it was at 53. It's still at 53. That's a good place to be because you're in striking distance of all of that. And I'll show you another chart in a couple of minutes that will definitely demonstrate to you the idea of when the market goes down, pay attention to how far it's going down. To me, this is nothing more than a small correction. But I wanted to take a look at DeFi Llama. Yeah, so yesterday was about 5 billion. Now it's at about 64, so it dropped about a billion in total value locked. Cool. But I want you to look at, who's down here in terms of total value locked. This is what we're talking about. Liquid staking on Lido, yeah, still going strong, still going big. Okay, so this is why I pay attention to this particular chart, because it's letting me know what's going on with all the money that's out there, all the crypto that's out there. Now, this is the one that I really pay attention to. If you know me, I've been looking at this chart forever and a day, right? So we've got the 20,000 mark, 2160. We've got the 25,000 mark at 25,211, and we have the mark, which used to be 28. I don't know why this moved to 28.29, but whatever. So it's 28.29. That was the ceiling that I had set, and obviously it became the floor or the support, and Bitcoin is now crashed through that floor, but still has not come down to that 65,389 or 539 rather. And these are the lines that I'm paying attention to. What I'm hoping for is that it'll come back above that 28. So you had General Electric report today. They smashed numbers. So I think the market's going to wind up going up at some point, at least for them. That's pretty good. I'm looking at this as being a good time for me to buy some more Bitcoin. Actually, for me to buy a few of my favorite coins. So Ethereum, Polygon, SHIB. Yes, I'm buying SHIB, and we'll get into that in another video. But yeah, I'm buying SHIB. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Polygon, Matic. I'm a big fan of Ethereum, big fan of other coins. I do hold a little bit of HBAR, but that to me is a seriously long shot. But there are other projects that I'm paying attention to. Singularity, Arbitrum. These are projects that I also pay attention to, and the only reason why is because they're doing things. Lido is another project that I pay attention to because they're doing things. Do your own research so that you train your mind to find things that you're actually interested in instead of waiting for others to speak with you for you to get those ideas. Do your own research. Add to that pool of knowledge that you have, right? To get a picture of you, I don't know why this website always takes such a long time getting there, but I gotta have it. But looking at the list real quick, you can see how far down everybody is. And remember, year to date is something I do pay attention to in the first half of the year. Normally I pay attention to it the whole year, but you can see how it's hurting, right? But how some are hurting, but this puppy, Bitcoin, Ethereum, even XRP, Cardano, Polygon has not moved as much as it should. Look at this, 26% compared to 64%. I can't. I don't know why it's not moving. It's not where it should be. But I'll tell you what, that 96 cents, I'm very interested. Very. Just remember that 96 cents, I told you I'd probably get in if it drops under $1. Brother Elliot, remember what I told you. Now it's under $1. Now I'm paying attention to where it could go and what it could be doing. Because just a few weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, it was at $1.51. Just saying. To me, there's opportunity. There's too much going on that's positive for Polygon for it not to shoot up again. Still, Solana up over 100%. Polkadot over 33%. So when I look at a deal like Polygon, even Shiba Inu not performing as well as other projects, makes me scratch my head. Really does make me scratch my head. Now, yes, I am a fan of Cardano. Have been for a while, just am. Not a fan of Doge. But I will say this. If I had a spare $1,000, I'd go buy some Doge. And here's why. At some point, you start to realize that it has peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. Had this guy that I used to work with eons ago, and he chose a handful of stocks, and literally all he would do is play the peaks and valleys. There weren't a lot of high peaks, there weren't a lot of low valleys. He just picked those stocks and played peaks and valleys. And he maintained a certain line above the center, but that made him money. So I'm looking at Doge, and I'm thinking the same thing, because as soon as Elon opens up his mouth, Doge shoots up. So there you go. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. I hope everything that I've been sharing with you is actually helpful. Site still isn't up. I am shocked. I am absolutely shocked. There you go. Finally. Thank you very much. So looking at this, you can see in the big picture of things that things are not looking good. But to me, when I see all red and I understand why it's red, that to me is most likely a major signal for me to get in. And that's what I'm telling you that I'm doing. So with my dollar cost averaging as a constant, I told you I have dry powder to add to that whenever I see opportunities like this. And to me, this is a major opportunity. Again, a few months ago, we were down, not past 15, but we were down there. And now we're not. Do with that what you will. I hope you have a good one. This is Eddie J on crypto. Bye-bye.